Our scripture verse today comes from Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Well, we clearly live in a world where not everybody conducts themselves honorably by this passage. Paul's phrase "unwholesome talk" it's deeper than what I think a lot of people take it at. It's more than just crude language. It includes careless and misleading and harmful things. And what we're going to talk about later in the show, it certainly includes intentionally taking short clips and using them way out of context. The command to only speak what is helpful while building others up, it means that even in times of conflict or potential confrontation, our words should restore truth and dignity and not try to tear people down for attention, but to try to use corrective words in a helpful and beneficial tone. And that takes us to the next step of the scripture, that it may benefit those who listen. The goal is not to score points or win an argument. The goal is to change the patterns and to benefit the one who listens. And if you're trying to correct somebody, then just making them feel like crap and convincing them they're wrong is not always the best step. Truthfulness and charity go hand in hand. Your corrections not only need to be accurate, but they also need to be constructive. And like we were talking about, they need to be aimed at restoring someone rather than trying to humiliate them. We come into practical applications of the scripture every day, and there you'll notice the common theme. It's always, pause, take a breath, verify, and things of that nature. And today's is no different. When you're reading anything or digesting any sort of information, it's always good to take a breath, take a minute, and ask God for wisdom as to, how are you supposed to interpret something? Verify things before you amplify or share them or even engage with anything. Verify that it's true. Hunt down the original source, or, in case of short clips, hunt down the full clips, see what the full context is. And then if a time comes where you have to be somewhat confrontational or corrective, build up and do it in a Christian-like manner. And then on cases where one of us is wrong, own it, publicly apologize. If you've shared something that you have later found out was incorrect, get back on there and own it. But no matter what you're doing in these moments, and when it comes time to having difficult conversations and trying to take a stand for what you believe and in some cases correct others, the important thing is to keep the tone Christian. Keep the tone as to the way God calls us to interact with people. And it's, the way I look at it is pretty simple. It's firm on the facts, but gentle on the person.